Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome IAVA Executive Director, Allison Jaslow.
Strategically placed my fan club up here at the front. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the evening so far. And for those of you who took full advantage of the open bar, I hope you're feeling a little bit better with something in your stomach right now. My name is Allison Jaslow, and I am the Executive Director of IAVA, but I'm also a member. You know, after working closely, yes, let's, After working closely for almost 2 years, Paul will tell you that I have a handful of Jaslowisms that he's fond of. One of them describes a life philosophy of sorts, breaking the cycle. It's pretty simple. If I see something, especially a screwed up trend, I try to do what I can to fix it. In some cases, that means challenging myself to break the cycle, to be the boss or mentor I wish I had but didn't. And for as long as I can remember, I've lunged towards opportunities to break the cycle at scale. In fact, one of the reasons I wanted to be a chief of staff on Capitol Hill was not just to represent thousands of citizens, but so I could build an office of people who wanted to do something important versus being important. I was tired of crossing paths with folks in politics who were in it for the wrong reasons, and I wanted a shot at reversing that trend. As I stand before you tonight, I'm filled with gratitude. Grateful not just for your support of our mission that I believe in passionately, but for the opportunity I've been given to try and break the cycle for millions of women veterans in our nation. Women who have distinguished themselves by stepping up when 99% of Americans do not, but tell us repeatedly that they feel invisible, that their contributions aren't valued, and that their service isn't respected. For years, IAVA has identified disparities in recognition and care for women. Research was done, issues were pointed out to the VA, and yeah, some progress was made, but none of it fast enough. To be blunt, our VA has a woman problem. Just as we have a way to go in the military, we have work to do with how we treat our women veterans. For anyone fooled into thinking differently, the Marines United photo scandal earlier this year should have been a wake-up call. As a former Army captain, the news that Marines had shared nude photos of their female battle buddies with 30,000 members of a Facebook group saddened, but it didn't completely shock me. Need more evidence of how slow our culture is to evolve? I'll show you some etched in bronze. Outside the VA's headquarters in Washington hangs its motto: to care for him who shall have borne the battle, and for his widow and his orphan. Well, I'm not a him, I'm a her. And just like the 2 million other women vets, I deserve a VA that understands me and supports me, and a country that does the same. Women have served in the US military since the Revolutionary War, when Deborah Sampson disguised herself as a man to fight for our independence. Over 700,000 women have served since 9/11, including me and many of my closest friends. But what do most Americans imagine when a veteran comes to mind? Well, close your eyes. I'm guessing even people in this room tonight don't envision somebody who looks like me. In March, IAVA committed to changing the landscape for women veterans in America by launching our She Who Borne the Battle campaign, a play on the VA's motto, which we're calling To Be Changed. After 16 years of women being on the front lines of our nation's war on terror, I shouldn't still be repeating myself to people in disbelief of my combat service. And many of us, we're just plain tired of having to tell a fellow veteran at the VA, sorry, I'm not a nurse, I'm actually a patient here too. Women aren't just fighting, but they're also dying for our country. Nearly 200 have been killed in our most recent wars, but their sacrifice and that of women veterans continues to be overlooked. Mark my words, IAVA will change the way America sees its veterans, but we can't do it without you. We need everyday Americans behind us, and we need leadership. Leaders with compassion, leaders with tenacity, leaders with courage. Leaders like our next honoree. It's a true pleasure for me to introduce you to a story of my great American, a fellow Army officer and Secretary of the VA. He stepped in to save our VA in crisis and showed us what real selfless service looks like.